So it's official. Showtime has released all their dates for the next 6 months. And we finally got a date for the light heavyweight champ Adonis Stevenson. Now, I had previously reported that I had some inside knowledge that there was a strong chance Badou Jack was going to walk away from that fight and go fight someone else for some sort of better offer. Turns out I was wrong. Now, on the flip side of that, although I was wrong, and my source apologizes, although he swears the offer was made, he just didn't know which way Badou was going to go. And he assumed Badou was going to pick more money, but I'm guessing the WBC lineal belt and everything that had to happen in order for him to get it was more important. Nonetheless, this turned out to be kind of a good thing for me. Because you see, it turns out a lot more of you listen to me than I realize. See, I usually go by things like views and likes and shares, but I realize now my voice carries a little more because as soon as I said I had some information, I could rattle off a list of names that have never spoken to me in their lives that are now all of a sudden writing to me and asking me for my opinion or my thoughts or if I could quote them or give them my source. Nonetheless, it's all, inconsequential now because, Badou Jack is fighting Adonis Stevenson. They even gave us a date, May 19th. Now, this got a few boxing fans in Canada all excited, thinking maybe they'll do it in Toronto, seeing how Mayweather was so greatly, warmly greeted in Toronto. The problem is the WBC won't go to Ontario based on its lacking of rules, the same-day weigh-ins, the hand wraps. There's a bunch of reasons why they won't go there. So I don't see any major productions going to Ontario anytime soon, or at least until they change the laws. Now, that being said, that really leaves Quebec. And obviously that would be Quebec City or here in Montreal. Now, luckily, there's some sort of bull riding thing going down May 19th at the Videotron Center. So, on a bright side of things, it looks like this showdown might actually happen here in Montreal, provided the Canadians don't go into the playoffs. Now, I'm not jinxing them, but let's face reality. So, chances are we're going to have our fight here in Montreal. At least I won't have to spend money to travel. Now, speaking of spending money, this leads me to a bigger problem this fight proposes. See, I don't think Adonis Stevenson thought all the way through when he chose this fight. I don't think Adonis Stevenson thinks all that much. See, minutes after this announcement, he put out a tweet, which he's since deleted, which I'll throw up now, and it's in French. So basically what he's saying is, after Badou Jack, he's going to fight the winner of Godsick and that other French dude, seeing as how they're fighting for the WBC interim somehow. And then wrote that Eleider Alvarez lost his spot. Now, like I said, he's since deleted that tweet. But it's a pretty cocky, arrogant, annoying thing to do. You got your way. Now, the thing is, I don't think he thought it all the way through, because I've said this before, and I have no shame in saying it. If you're going to face a TMT fighter on a Showtime card for a title, there is two things you cannot allow yourself to do. Number one, lose a point. Number two, go the distance. Basically, what I'm telling you is if Adonis Stevenson goes the distance with Badou Jack, no matter how it looks, the judges will score it for Badou Jack. Adonis Stevenson would then lose his title. This would screw up whatever Eleider Alvarez has going on even more. This would end our long-time love affair with Showtime Boxing. And more importantly, this would probably be the last fight of Adonis Stevenson's career. Now, maybe he could hope for a rematch after that, but let's face it, he's 40 now. 2 fights, maybe 3. That's the best we can hope for. His dreams to unify. But what if he loses? Like I stated, there are some serious consequences. Some serious consequences. Now we know Yvan Michel doesn't call the shots. And we know that Adonis Stevenson doesn't call the shots. Not Eleider Alvarez. Hell, not even the WBC. Showtime doesn't even get to call the shots. Badu Jack let us all know who calls the shots.
Told me, you want to fight Nathan Cleverly for the light heavyweight title? I said, yeah. He said, well, we gotta, vacate right after, but I'm gonna get you a bigger, better fight, Adonis Stevenson for the, WBC and then you'll, championship. He said, you want it? I said, hell yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Word, make some noise for Badu Jack, y'all.
So there it is, clear as day. Floyd Mayweather is the one calling the shots. Floyd Mayweather is the one that decided you, Adonis Stevenson, were going to defend your title May 19th and against Badu Jack. That's who's really in charge. Floyd. Maybe somebody above Floyd, but Floyd. Now if Floyd's in charge, if Floyd's the one that made this fight happen, what makes you think they want you to win, Adonis? Where were you at this press conference that they called? They flew in all kinds of people so they could do face-offs. Where were you? Maybe you were busy shopping for another fur coat, but you're not in this picture. That doesn't say something to you? Do you truly believe you will be the A side on a co-promotion with Mayweather? The same night, Keith Thurman's going to be fighting. Now, Yvan Michel actually said that in the contract negotiations, Mayweather's supposed to be down here for a week in order to promote the fight. Although I believe that's true, I don't think he's going to be here for the fight itself. I think he'll be watching the Keith Thurman fight. I think he'll be comfortable in his country. I think the assumption on Showtime's part is that you'll lose. Now, quite honestly, based on recent behavior and how shitty things are going for Eleider, I couldn't care less. However, this does affect us all. Because you see, Adonis, Luce Bute's retired. Jean Pascal's retired. There is no other big name fighters here in Montreal that's going to draw Showtime. Showtime's already proven they don't care for Eleider Alvarez. Now, as far as HBO is concerned, they really don't care for you, considering that all that Kovalev stuff was very complicated. And, well, HBO had David Lemieux and Eye of the Tiger. Seeing how he lost his last fight against Billy Joe, I don't think HBO is going to be running back to Montreal anytime soon. Now, I do think there's a bunch of young stars that'll bring the big TV networks back here to Montreal. However, I think that if you don't properly pass on the torch to another fighter from here, that's not going to happen. You see, if you lose to Badu Jack in a decision, you're not going to get your immediate rematch. He's going to run off and unify the titles. And you're going to be 40 plus years old. And there's a good chance we might get our Eleider Alvarez fight at that point. But it's going to mean nothing to Eleider. So there's a good chance Eleider might even say no to it. If you lose, you're screwed. We're screwed. You lose, it's goodbye Showtime. We're going to have to wait a couple years before they come back here and do another big show. Another reason I think Showtime's not invested in you? Why is it a 2-location night? Why is Keith Thurman, who is clearly a bigger pay-per-view draw than you are, going to be fighting the same night at a different location? Last but not least, ticket sales. Had you fought Eleider Alvarez, I strongly believe, here at least, ticket sales would have been much better. But now against Badu Jack, unless they stack up that undercard, you're not getting a big crowd. Bottom line is this. Despite the fact that I think you've been an arrogant ass lately, and have every reason to root for you to lose, if you lose, we all lose. We want Showtime to come back here. These younger dudes need to be showcased. You're putting a lot at risk. I really hope it's worth it.